So new tornado warning now, and it's going to be a confirmed tornado since it's observed. And this is located over Cherokee Landing State Park, and now it's moving northeast at 45. So this is approaching the northwest Arkansas area. Let me give you the wide view. Let's go back to our radar if we can here, and we'll take this full. And I know people might be watching. Are we streaming, by the way, on online? Okay, wonderful. All right. Any way that we can get this information out. So now you can bring me up on the weather wall. The wide view, what is going on with around the surrounding areas? Well, there's really not a whole lot else. There's a few little isolated storms in the northwest Arkansas area, east of I-35, but this storm is on a track and it's moving into Adair County, and that's why we've been on this the whole time, is that, yes, it was in Haskell County for a brief while, which is a little south and west of our weather coverage area and a little west of our weather coverage area. However, this is the confirmed tornado, intense tornado with lots of debris. We can see it on the radar, potentially deadly, and so that's the wide view. We're going to zoom in on this storm, and I want to kind of take a detailed tour of it, and then we want to put a track on it to let you know where it's going. So, Josh, I can hear some rumbles of thunder. What do you have going on right now?
Really, the situation's pretty much unchanged at this point. I don't really have any visibility. Just continuing to drive north towards Dry Creek.
Okay, be careful because the tornado is literally approaching the Dry Creek area. So it looks like you are just south of the actual circulation. So you might want to start slowing down just a little bit. Because I think the storm is moving 40 miles an hour, but the circulation seems like it's a little bit slower. So just keep that in mind and be careful.
Yeah, it does seem to look like that on my radar feed as well.
So you're seeing that, yeah. And keep in mind, our storm spotters well trained. They have radar information, and so you know they're able to track this, which is why they do it in the night. So power lines down, cars twisted up, damage to a home on Highway 64 east of Highway 10. So that's some new information. Got power flashes reported by Welling Fire. That's in the Ada Bend area. So clearly a strong circulation. Now, there was another tornado warning that was north of Tulsa. That's not really affecting. So we got the rotation. I'm going to put the split screen on here so we can see both the radar and the circulation. And Josh Myers is located southwest of Dry Creek. We've got his stream, too, as well. That's on the right-hand side of your screen. And we're providing continuous coverage on this storm because it is one of the most impressive circulations we've seen all year, no doubt about that. Josh, what do you think about the circulation? You felt the wind. Did you ever see any inflow, too, ahead of the storm?
It was real brief amount of inflow. I had more of the river flank downdraft just due to my positioning.
Okay, now you're still driving north on Highway 82. It looks like a fairly quiet drive, so you're just east of that rain core, but the tornado is about to cross Highway 82 very close to Dry Creek. Take your tornado precautions. By the way, the new tornado warning that extends all the way into northeastern Adair County. This storm is you got a little time to take shelter from it. That's the good news. The bad news is that it is an intense storm, and it will be moving into Adair County and will most likely hold together. So, by the way, there was rotation that was, remember, Josh, when it was by Weber's Falls, it already touched down near Weber's Falls, and there's damage reports too right by Gore and power lines west of Vian, which is where you were at, and tree damage at the Gore exit on I-40. So all of those areas are being impacted as this tornado, and this is a long track tornado too. It's staying on the ground a long time.
I will note, I just passed through Dry Creek area. They still have power.
Dry Creek still has power, okay. So something interesting here. I don't know if the radar's not updating. Let's see. No, it's been a little while since my radar is updated. So that might be why that
Dan,
Go ahead.
I do have lots of tree debris damage right here on the bridge. Right up here at, looks like, is the Illinois River Bridge. Okay,
let's go ahead and we'll take... Okay, you do have tree damage. Are there any trees in the road?
Yes, there was. And I'm going to turn around here. I'm going to try to see if I can get this on the screen for you.
Well, I think you should keep tracking the storm as it moves northeast because it's coming into our area, Lake Tenkiller, boy, it's kind of a rural area though. It's really tough. I know what you mean.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to take State Highway 100. It's going to take me a bit of an easterly, just a little bit.
Okay. I wonder how delayed your stream is here. Let's take his stream full and we can see that damage that's occurred in just a bit. Yeah, I was reporting that. Yeah, I did report that. Highway 64 east of Highway 10, there was power lines down and cars twisted. And so here's Josh Myers, and he's traveling right now on Highway 82. Now he's turning back around, and this is where the tornado crossed Highway 82, close to Lake Tenkiller. So, and very close to, it looked like Dry Creek. That's what you were mentioning. Okay, I got the new update on the radar. Still a strong circulation, still in Haskell County, about to cross into Adair County. And now the rotation is probably the strongest of the day. This is unbelievable. I tell you this all the time. When I have people in the studio and guests in here and we talk about these storms and just how intense they are, well, I want to show you this when we look at our tornado tracker. So this is a look at the tornado tracker. And you'll notice here that we've got a white area, Josh, and you're accustomed to radar. We've got the white normalized rotation, and we are talking about, yes, go ahead.
I actually got 2 large trees were down, and we got a car off the road here. I'm going to check on these people, see if they're okay. Okay, sounds good. Just stay on the line if you can. Don't hang up because we got a good connection. So just kind of stay on the line. All right. Go check them out, though. That's another reason you guys are out there. So here is a look again at that circulation, and you notice it has strong tornado and violent tornado. This is about as violent as it gets. This is an incredible circulation north of Tenkiller. Very dangerous, potentially deadly. Here, in fact, you can see the stream right now. Let's take that full if we can again. And this is from Josh Myers, and he said a car was off the road. So very easily, out of nowhere, this storm can come through and can take cars off the road, and with it being rain wrapped, that's extremely dangerous. Let's look at the circulation again. This is almost as strong as a Joplin-esque circulation, just to kind of put it into perspective. If you're looking at radar, it's not quite that strong, but we're looking at violent potentially EF4. And obviously, this tornado has to do damage to structures, but this is a long-track, violent tornado. Josh, are you there? I heard you hop in the vehicle. Yeah, I'm still here, Dan.
Injuries there?
They're not injured. Their car's going to be stuck. I was going to get off here and call 911 for them if they get some help for them. Okay, go ahead and do that, and then just call back into the phone line, because I know you're still tracking this storm. It's kind of moved away a little bit from you, but as slow as it's moving, you'll be able to catch up with it. So we appreciate all your information. All right, no problem. Okay. So that's the reason we have storm spotters right there. That's the sole reason is at night, very difficult to see, rain wrap, tornado, and so we were tracking this storm here on KNWA Fox 24 Facebook Live. But this is a strong circulation. What are we seeing when we look at these colors? I know you're probably wondering what's going on, and now it's strengthened even more. Those bright yellows and even oranges, we're talking 100 knots of wind, meaning over 100 miles an hour, moving away from the radar. Then you've got the rain that's moving towards the radar, and when that happens, the radar's down in Fort Smith, so there is your circulation right there. Counterclockwise spin, right in the center of that. You got the storm rotation, and then you got the individual tornado rotation. So this just shows you how strong this circulation is. Then we also have a long track, so it's about to move into Adair County. So, Christy, you need to be right now thinking about where is your safe place. You need to get downstairs, under something, center a house, keep away from windows. And we have reporters, too. I want to see how many power outages we have. I'm sure we've got power outage reports from OG&E as this tornado has taken down power lines. And so you will be encountering power outages with this storm as it continues to move northeast at about 40 miles an hour. So it's 10:09 right now. And Melissa, go ahead and mic Melissa. She's got some information right now.
Yeah, according to to poweroutage.usa, Oklahoma itself has close to 10,000 people without power. Most of them are over in the eastern part of the state, some down in the southern region where they also had some strong storms that came up from Texas. But yes, the bulk of the power outages that we're seeing right now are going to be over where we were just talking about, Sequoia, right next to Adar. So Cherokee, which that storm did clip.
And Haskell County, and yeah, moving into Adair County. So, and there's no power outages yet in Adair, but that's about to change as the storm is tracking in.
Any yet? That's just Sequoia. No, that's Cherokee.
Yeah. And that's Haskell. Yeah. So we've got. So we got that storm continuing to track, yes. So we're moving into Cherokee County and into Adair County. So that storm is now in Cherokee County, moving northeast and continuing to, So Haskell, thankfully, as we mentioned, the storm was increasing as it was moving into Sequoia County. And so it was actually southwest of Sequoia County is Haskell County. So that storm continues to track to the northeast. And as Melissa just mentioned, it was in Cherokee County throughout the afternoon into the evening, and now is continuing. These storms are just, this is an incredible tornado in Cherokee County and about to cross into Adair County. So there's the new tornado update, by the way, that's showing a large and extremely dangerous tornado 3 miles south of Eldon, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. So very incredible storm. And thankfully, if we look at the area, so there are some storms in Haskell County, which is west of our viewing area, east of Stigler and Keota and north of McCurtain. But as Melissa mentioned, no power outages in the Haskell County area, all in Cherokee, and now about to move into Adair County. So,
yes. And further south down in Cole County, which is right there closer to the Texas border as well.
Yeah, and we've got additional storms that are moving in. In fact, look at the line. You can see more storms coming in, but this is the isolated supercell, that the dreaded one that's ahead of the line that has such a strong circulation, and it's not stopping. It is not decreasing in intensity at all. And now I want to track some, I want to put some streets on here for our Adair County area. So here we've got East 0770 Road. Take your tornado precautions. D 4630, get to your safe place if you live on that rural road. Then as we zoom in here on just northeast or northwest of Christie, we've got Highway 62. So this storm is going to be moving right in that area. What time is it moving in there? Well, let's do a storm track on this, and we'll show you exactly where this storm is going. So we've got, again, northeast at about 40 miles an hour. So if we put a storm track on this and it's tracking to the northeast, it's moving out of Cherokee County and quickly moving into Adair County. It's going to be in Christie, as we mentioned, at 10:26. So that's about, you've got 13 minutes to take your tornado precautions. Chewy at 10:35, Ballard at 10:41. West Siloam Springs, 10:49. And if you're new to this area and I'm like, I don't know what to do in a tornado, what's the best thing to do? Well, you want to get underground. That's the one thing, if you can, do that. But this is tornado safety right here. Downstairs, under something, center of the house, and keep away from windows. So we got damage confirmed. This is happening in the Tailholt area. That was from Welling Fire that responded with that. That's from NWS chat. So storm continues, very intense, very strong circulation. It's still maxed out on the couplet. The C stands for center of the house, so you want to put as many walls in between you and the tornado as possible, because those outside walls are the ones that are going to come down. And finally, keep away from windows. And control room, let me know when Josh calls back in. I know he's trying to help and assist that person. Looked like that was definitely a little bit of, that's where the tornado came across along Highway 82. Very close to Lake Tenkiller. No doubt, Melissa, through the Cherokee County, Adair County, Sequoia County, this is going to be a long track tornado. It's going to stay on, it's been staying on the ground a long time and will continue to.
They actually just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Sequoia County.
A new one, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, here we go. We'll see that start to pop up, and And there it is showing up. And it looks like it just barely clips southwestern Sequoia County. I mean, just west of Vian, which is exactly the area that was impacted because these storms are moving in. So good news is they have expired the tornado warning for Sequoia County as it's moved out of that area, and now they've got the tornado warning for eastern Cherokee and western and northwestern Adair County. So let's go back to, I did that storm track. I'll do it one more time, and then we're going to go to Mega Doppler and take a look at the latest. So if this storm continues on its northeasterly course, Siloam Springs, you will be in the path of this storm. Yes, Melissa? Do you have...
Oh, I was just noting there's 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts with this, so
with the
even
storms
stronger.
to the west.
Yes, even stronger than what we were anticipating.
Yeah. Okay, latest radar update. We've got latest radar. It's just about ready to cross into the Adair County area. It's moving northeast. The circulation is not weakening at all. It's been a long track tornado, and this could make its way all the way into northern Adair County and eventually into the West Siloam Springs area. So that's why we have been diligent. That's why we've been tracking this the whole time. And I know that there has been a college football game on Fox 24, and hopefully you can watch the rebroadcast of that. So, but this is life-saving information because this is a devastating, potentially deadly tornado. This is about as strong as it gets in terms of a tornado potential. This is going to be very reminiscent of the Denning Etna tornado damage as that storm just rips through Lake Tenkiller. You'll see multiple trees that are down, and there'll be a definitive path. So 10/16 on a Friday night, we've got a tornado warning. That's Adair County. It's moving northeast, so it will be crossing into Adair County, and it could eventually cross into Delaware County as well. And the ingredients are a little favorable farther south, and it might weaken a little bit as it moves to the northeast, but we need to stay on this. This is a strong to violent, potentially violent tornado. What we mean by violent is EF4 to EF5. Now, obviously, the damage has to be done in order to confirm that rating. But there it is. There's the new update. It's literally crossing the line right now. And we've got a potentially strong to violent tornado still on the ground. Let's look and see if there's debris. There will most likely still be debris within this storm. If we look at what's called the... this is a fancy word for you. Oh, there it is.
Correlation coefficient.
Correlation coefficient. There it is.
Little C's, yeah.
You can see it right there. So we call it the CC. And that dark blue area is the radar going, here's the debris. And this is the debris that Josh Myers experienced on Highway 82. And this is a large debris ball. This is you can see this. You can probably even see it on the reflectivity as well. This blue area is, that's debris that's showing up. Looks like they're issuing an updated alert on that tornado warning. That's an incredible storm. And if we look at the risk, too, the risk for storms in our area, by the way, we still got the enhanced risk that's lifted all the way north into Washington County. So if you look at this and you're like, well, wait a minute, I thought the enhanced risk was south of I-40. And well, it was earlier today, but now it's continuing to lift north. So hopefully we have some reporters that are going to be headed out to damage and go into the Adair County area, as this storm will most likely produce damage and significant damage as it crosses into our weather coverage area. So that's the look at the risk there. And if you look at the tornado threat as well, we can take a look at that tornado threat. And by the way, there is a tornado watch. Obviously, conditions are favorable for tornadoes. Now we have a new tornado warning, by the way, that's clipping southwestern Leflore County. So these storms, even though a lot of them are severe, and you can see all the severe warnings that are coming out, we got a new warning that's coming out for Leflore County. You can hear our weather radio going off. You'll be able to hear that in just a second. And severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, goes until 11:15. And this is going to be for the Leflore County area. So very, very busy night ahead. And we knew this. We knew this was coming, and we were dreading this. And hopefully this storm can die out and weaken, but it's not looking like it with this strong circulation, a very intense storm. Now, we can actually dive inside of this. That is just incredible. I have not seen a strong couplet like this. In fact, look at the scale if you look at the scale on the screen, we don't even have oranges on there. That just shows you this is potentially deadly as it's going to be crossing Highway 62. So there's the circulation, there's the storm. It's already now in Adair County. It's continuing to lift northeast. It's going about 40 miles an hour. Please, I urge you, I beg you, take your tornado precautions. This is a serious, destructive, damaging, potentially deadly tornado. And even though it's late November, just about to cross into early December, we can get these storms, especially with this type of system. And I hope and pray that this storm weakens as it lifts north and continues to move into northern Adair County and approaching the northwest Arkansas area. But that's the track that it's on. So Siloam Springs, now is the time. If you have your storm cellar that's not cleaned out, or you don't have a proper place to, you don't have to take shelter quite yet, but keep in mind, have that in the back of your mind where you need to go. And I'll show you as we zoom out here a little bit more that this storm is going to be making its way there. No, we need to send someone to, we need to send someone to Adair County. And eventually, as it tracks northeast, it's going to be moving into, potentially Siloam. So if we want to send someone on Highway 412 and go west, right now, as this storm moves in, and let me see, we do have other storm spotters that are out there as well. We'll see if anybody is tracking this in the Siloam Springs area. So we do have a couple of storm spotters. We got James Hilger, we got Michael Craddock. So we will have storm spotters as it moves closer to the Siloam Springs area. But this is I can't stress this enough. This is a pretty strong circulation. This is about as strong as it gets. And here's a look at the radar update. And we switch radars, and you can see all those orange colors moving away from the radar. When we look at this storm, we dissect it, and we go inside the storm and look at the velocity. There you can see the Highway 62 right now. The tornado's coming through, so don't drive on Highway 62 west of Christie. If you're hearing us on KLRC, there's most likely doing some simulcast severe weather coverage. This is definitely in the KLRC listening area, and you need to be definitely off of Highway 62, and it's actually already crossed through Proctor. Proctor took a direct hit from this tornado. There's going to be considerable damage in the Proctor area. Looks like the storm is even increasing in size even more. So now, let me cross some, let me go ahead and put some new roads on here. So we've got this Creek Road right here. There's Proctor Road. It's going to be moving right along there. You're going to hear that area that has damage. Also, if we zoom in here a little bit closer, and these are some rural areas, but we've got Okay, here we go, D4635. So this is some very small rural roads, but if you know this area, we'll put it right on there. That's going to be exactly where the tornado comes through. It's going to come over this ridge. This ridge is not going to stop this tornado. It's going to continue to remain on the ground as strong as it is. Then we got D4650. This is in Adair County, so some of these rural roads that are out there. Thankfully, it's going through a less populated area, but unfortunately, there will still be people that are there. Yeah, don't have eyes on the ground for this one. Okay, yeah, it looks like, there is someone. Yep, that was the 10 killer. So go ahead and retweet that, and you can follow Peyton Yeager. She's got a video. She's got a picture of a storm spotter from the Tulsa area that was tracking this storm. It's what we call a wedge tornado. It's as wide as it is tall, and that is a serious tornado. We're talking deadly, potentially deadly, if it hits anybody, and they aren't taking the proper precautions that are caught outside. So this is a devastating storm. Now, hopefully, it looks like it's kind of losing its organization a little bit on the last image. I can only pray and hope that that's the case. I am going to take this call real quick. We got a storm spotter, James Hilger. Hey, James, we're live on the air right now, and just wanted to know what you're seeing right now from the Siloam Springs area.
West Siloam Springs, going to head west a couple miles. The casino is evacuating right now.
Okay. You're kind of cutting in and out a little bit. Why don't you call in on the phone or line so we can get that information? We had Josh Myers that was on the storm earlier as it was tracking north in Cherokee County. And so go ahead and just call in on the phone or line. We'll get all that information from you, okay?
We'll do that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that's another one of our storm spotters, James Hildrer, that was calling in, and we're going to get him on the phone or line here as we get that information. But there is the circulation, still strong, still intense, and Peyton Yeager, I'm going to retweet that as well, because that, okay. So Sean with KLRC did mention, yes, they are simulcasting, and we want to give as much information as we can for not only our listening audience for KLRC, but also for our viewing audience here on KNWA Fox 24. There's the update to the tornado warning. You'll see it pop up on the screen. So that's what we're looking at. Friday, 10:45. Christie, northwest of Christie. That's where that tornado is located at. So I want to go back to our mega Doppler source if we can. And so I'm going to pop this up on the screen. And I was mentioning those roads, and I want to zoom in and show you exactly where this tornado was. We had a different source that was up that I didn't switch over. But there's the circulation, still very intense, still very strong. And so it's moving literally in northeast, and it's going to be moving into a heavily populated area where you see more roads, more businesses, more buildings that could be potentially hit. This tornado, by the way, started all the way down in Gore. It touched down very close to I-40 in Gore. At the Gore exit, there were trees that were down. Circulation ramped up remarkably, and now it continues to lift northeast. And I hope this weakens, but this has been a long-track tornado. Now, the instability is a little less the farther north you go, but everything's kind of surging north with this system. So very, very strong system. All right, so I'm going to go here, and there's the tornado. I'm going to retweet this as well. So at WeatherDan on Twitter, that's the tornado that was associated with the storm. And so storm spotter out of Tulsa got that storm. So let's put a track on this. We haven't done that in a little while, so you know exactly where this storm is headed. And I'm going to update this storm track as well if we can. So this was earlier when the storm was all the way down to Weber's Falls. And you'll notice that we've got more activity coming into northwest Arkansas. I'm going to zoom in on the Siloam Springs area because you can see it's a little southwest of Siloam. And it looks like this tornado will be passing a little west of Siloam. However, West Siloam Springs going to be impacted by this storm. So I want to bring up a different radar sort because we have a lot of other storms that are impacting this. So we'll bring it up on a different radar. I want to show exactly where that circulation is. So there's the storm, there's the circulation, and we'll bring that up. And this is the area of the most dangerous portion of the storm. Moving northeast, I want to get this track as right as possible at about 40 miles an hour. And so Mosley School at 10:44, you've got about 20 minutes before this storm crosses Highway 412. Colcord, 10:49. Bethel Church, 10:55. Cherokee City, 10:55. And going to be continuing to lift north into Delaware County. So thankfully, at the moment, it does not look like this is headed towards Siloam Springs, but the storm could always right turn just a little bit. And it looks like the rotation is also weakening somewhat, so maybe a little bit of less organization. But if you go to @WeatherDan on Twitter, also Peyton Yeager on Twitter, she has a picture of that tornado at 10 killer, and it's a wide one. So this is going to miss Siloam Springs just to the west. It is going to be close. If it right turns, it's going to be trouble for Siloam Springs. But at the moment, it looks to be just a little bit to the east, and hopefully it will weaken. But it's still showing signs of strong rotation. Do we have James on the line at all by any chance? Okay, we do not have our storm spotter out on the line.
You mentioned that the casino might be evacuating.
So yeah, I heard that. I think the storm is going to be missing him just a little bit to the now. James is west of Siloam, and we've actually got his stream up. I'll be able to bring that up here in just a bit. So let's go ahead and we'll bring up a Mega Doppler and his stream with this storm. So new tornado warning just issued, and it's including Delaware, it's including western Benton County, and you can hear the weather radio going off. Let's go ahead and we'll put his stream on there. So we've got live storm spotter streaming. We've got Mega Doppler on there. And this is still a confirmed tornado at this point. So here's the latest information coming out of the National Weather Service out of Tulsa with this warning. They're extending it downstream, as we said, very incredible, strong circulation that looks to remain in Oklahoma. So this is James Hilger, and you can see his stream. And you know what? I'm also going to bring up, if we can, I'm going to bring this up on Weather 3.